Hello, dear students. Hope you all are doing well. Dear student, today we are going to discuss about 8th June, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So, first important news of today is center set to resume talks with the Kukizo insurgency. So, last couple of months we are seeing that there is a violence or you can conflict going on in Manipur. So, in Manipur, three type of community are there: Meiti, Naga, and Kuki. So there is a conflict between the Meiti and Kuki. So because of that, the all this crisis that is currently Manipur is having going on. Okay? So no immediate extension of suspension operation pact. It will be renegotiated with stringent norm. It was signed in 2008 and extend each year till 2014. So Manipur government pull out. So this is what said by our Ministry of Home Ministry. So all set to resume talks with the Kukizo insurgency group in Manipur after a gap of 2 years. Okay, so suspension operation pact with the insurgency group in Manipur will be renegotiated with stringent ground rules. So suspension operation framework to be persist before any political solutions to reach. They got to find any kind of solution. We need to have suspension of operation so that both can come to the peace table for a negotiation. So before May 2023, when the ethnic violence erupt in the state. Why? Because Meiti have been because of the High Court decisions to grant Meiti community ST certificate. So because of that, Kuki fear that Meiti are already their plain tribes, they are dominant tribes, so they might get all these jobs. So because of that, they oppose. Okay, so violent. Because of that, there is a violent erupt in the state. So primary demand of the suspension operation group was to have autonomous territorial council. So at that time, they demand ADC, autonomous district council. Okay, or you can say ATC, autonomous territorial council. So Manipur, after the conflict began, however, they changed their stance to demand separate administration of Kukizo area. And it's like a UT. So they demand a UT, Union Administrative Territory. Okay? The 2008 agreement has been periodically extended each year, except 2019, 2024, when Manipur government pulled out from the tripartite agreement. So tripartite agreement means Manipur government, center, and the Kuki. Okay? So signed are two signatory are the ministry and SO suspension operation group. So one of the condition set forth for talk suspension operation camp from the location close to the valley district which are dominated by Meitei people. Security forces have been suggested that number of camp to be reduced from exist 14 to 7 7 camp. So Meitei group has accused the suspension of operation group of carrying out armed attack during and after the ethnic violence in Kuki, Jo and Meitei people which erupt in the state. Okay, so that claim 250 life and displaced 60,000 people. So why this violence eruption erupted at first? Because High Court given a verdict that the Meitei community should be given the ST certificate or category certificate. So because of that, Kuki opposed that. So due to that, there is a conflict and violence that led to the loss of so many lives. So next is deportation may not require a long legal process. This is what said by Assam Chief Minister. So Assam government follow the 1950 order to fast track the detection and deportation of illegal migrant instead of government going through the long legal process. Northeastern state of Assam, it is affected by the long history of migration from the Bangladesh. So and there is a systemic change in the particularly the ownership of the land. So that is the reason there is a demand among the people for finding the those who are staying illegal and deportation of such people. So he said that illegal immigrant once detected will henceforth be pushed back without referring to them to the quasi judicial foreign tribunal. So any courts once they are identifying, after that they can simply push them back towards Bangladesh. The process of detecting and deporting foreigners staying illegally in Assam was slowed down due to exercise of the National Registry of Citizens, जिसको हम बोलते हैं NRC. So as of now, pushback of such people without going through the tribunals. So we can now push back such people without going through the tribunal. So no need to go to the tribunal. We can do that. So you need to remember that Assam has hundreds of foreign tribunals. First few of which were established in 2005 to adjudicate citizenship of people referred to by the Assam Police Border Wing on the suspicion of being illegal. देखो जब अगर कोई असम का बॉर्डर में रहता है तो उसको अगर लगता है कि ये इलीगल है तो पुलिस उसको रेफर कर देते हैं फॉरेनर ट्राइब्यूनल में. देन फॉरेनर ट्राइब्यूनल आपको मांगेगा कि गिव मी सम सपोर्टिंग डॉक्यूमेंट दैट you are the citizen of India. If you are not able to provide, that means you are declared as illegal migrant. Okay. Suspicion of illegal migrant, then you can say Bangladesh national allegedly staying illegally in the state of Assam. Okay. So a constitutional bench on the Supreme Court has hearing the article, Article 66A of the Constitutional Amendment Act 1955. Assam did not need to root. So Supreme Court said that Assam did not need to root the case of illegal migrant through the tribunal route. No need to go to the tribunal route. Supreme Court observed that old law, immigration expulsion order continue to valid. Under this provision, even the district commissioner can issue an order to immediately push back illegal migrants. So district commissioner is district collector only. So no need to go to this complex procedure for a tribunal. Even by using this immigration expulsion order by the district commissioner, or you can say this is the collector of a district, they can simply pass an order so that person can be pushed back towards Bangladesh. Okay, so that will ensure fast track identification of illegal migrant and ensure that there should be pushed back to the Bangladesh. No need to have long procedure. And this article is a very good article. India given a very clear signal that to the all these Western country exposing their double standards. So while on the one hand they are like they are talking about we are a victim of terrorism, when it comes to the Pakistan they simply support it. So this is a clear stand that, or you can say clear statement given by our MEA. So India expected partner to understand the policy of zero tolerance on the terrorism. So country could not countenance or equate perpetrator of evil with that of victim. You cannot, criminals, you cannot equate a criminal with a person like, victim with the criminals. So one, just a second. Yes. So one day visits, the foreign secretary of Britain. So he visited first. He visited first Pakistan before visiting India. So that is what showing the colonial mentality. They're still trying to balance out Pakistan with India. So they simply forget that the GDP of Mumbai, not about Maharashtra. Mumbai is more than that of Pakistan. Our UPI transaction is more than Pakistan GDP. So there is a famous saying that I think some expert once gave an opinion that we can buy Pakistan through our UPI. So that is the level of Pakistan. But still they want equal parity with India. So next is Delhi, Rajasthan, storing biometric data of the RST. So recently we have passed a act that is called Criminal Procedure Identification Act, which passed by the Parliament in 2022. So now come into effect. So that provide for collection of the biometric data. So act enable the police and central investigating agency to collect, store, analyze physical and biological sample, including fingerprint, scan, retina, iris of those who are arrested, so that next time when there is a crime we can simply match that all this evidence that we can find in the crime scene with our database. So though the act and its rule do not explicitly mention about the collection of DNA sample, so you have to remember that act or इस rules में कहीं mention नहीं है we need to collect the DNA samples. ठीक है. So DNA samples and face matching procedure. So National Criminal Record Bureau has informed state police official that such measure will be rolled out at around 1300 locations spread across the police district and commissionerate system. So NC, National Criminal Record Bureau, has been tasked with implementation of act and has finalized the standard operating procedure to be followed by the police. Okay. So by using that method we can ensure whenever any crime incident happen we have some evidence, so we can match that evidence with all the you can say collected evidence with our database, so you can easily find the criminal that involved in this case. So National Criminal Record Bureau has also held meeting with the forensic laboratory to finalize the DNA Loki printer to use DNA profiling under the Criminal Procedure Identification Act. So we can also use the DNA profiling to faster find you know to DNA of a person whether that person is involved or not. It can also use to settle the paternity, like parent, or you can say the dispute, or you can find the missing body. So that is going to help a lot. So the DNA samples are yet to be collected and stored. It is required huge forensic capability and logistics which do not exist at presently. So as we move forward, we need to upgrade that as well. So next is Bangalore Stampedes. Two key officials of KSCA resigned. देखो देखो कर्नाटक स्टेट क्रिकेट एसोसिएशन ऑफिशियल्स दे रिजाइन ऑन द मोरल ग्राउंड because they are not directly responsible for all the stampedes, but they are resigning on a moral ground that despite their best faith they are not able to prevent such death. So So same thing happened in the past also. So our, our rail ministry, so first rail minister of India, Lal Bahadur Shastri was resigned when there is a severe accident and taking the moral, on ground. Same thing happened with this. There is a severe, I think, submarine accident happened in our coast of western coast. So at that time, DK Joshi, if I'm not wrong, the name of our naval chief, DK Joshi, resigned on the ground of moral ground. So you can use this as an example, people with high post they resign when they fails to do something, so that to ensure that those who are going to next, or you can say predecessor, those who are going to occupy this office, they ensure that safety of people. Okay, so that set a precedent, so that those who are going to occupy that post, they will ensure the quality or prevent such kind of incident in the future. So next is unhappy with the CVI probe, say parents of Arjikar victim. Dekho, this is not, I know this is not much important for your examination, but you can see that we need to improve the trust among the people about our investigating agencies. So will not rest till larger conspiracy behind our daughter death is brought to the light, say victim father. So this is what clear indication, you can say, you can use this quote or example to justify that we need to ensure that there should be proper faith of people on this, this investigating agency or regulatory body. Then only we can say that, they are functioning properly. So to do that, we need to insulate all these, you can say, the law enforcement agency from the political pressure. They need to have adequate power, proper accountability and transparency mechanism. Okay. So, dear student, this is actually an intense mains answer writing program that is going to start, already started. So, anyone sure about writing mains, you can join that. Here, you will get 4 questions per day, and you can get a weekly full length test. Okay, will also ensure timely evaluation. So, all our evaluator are either interview appeared or selected candidates. So you'll get very quality evaluation at very nominal fees. If you join any test series of market that is available, 16,000, it is simply drain of your wealth. And at the end, you'll get your copy evaluated by those who have not written the mains, even mains written. So instead of that, you can exploit, or you can get this benefit at a very nominal fees. So to join that, you can simply scan this QR code. And those who are preparing for prelims test series, you can explore our prelims test series. It is very nominal fee, only 5,000 rupees. Yet the question are very high quality because, we have already faculty having experience in UPSC interview and OPSC interview, even selected candidate also. So 5 more Maoist kill in the 4th day of operation. So recently, this is a good news that all over India we are seeing that we are overpowering the Maoist, and either they are surrendering or kill in the operation. The operation has been carried out security forces in the Indravati National Parks area of Chhattisgarh, Bijapur district. Two top leader Sudhakar and Bhaskar were eliminated earlier. So, dear student, it is a homework study about detail about Indravati National Park. So you have to detail study about Indravati National Park, any river passing through Indravati National Park, any I know there is a river. This national park is formed on the name of Indravati River. Any water body within that river, what kind of species found, what type of fauna species, flora species, what is the unique species, what is the unique trees. So some unique feature you have to find and make note of it. This is your homework. So already I have told you, anyone following my task I'm giving daily, so it is my guarantee you will score 20 to 30 marks extra in your prelims as compared to other. And prelims is not going to be headache for you, this is my promise. And in mains I'm giving you a guarantee that your score will going to be, most of the paper 110 plus, while on other are struggling to score 100 marks, you'll get 110 plus. Okay, simply follow, note down whatever I'm saying, and before during exam you can just revise that. You will get a lot of question from here only. Okay, so you can write in your mains answer. So this is what the objective. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has set the deadline of March 31st, 2026 for eradication of Naxalism across the country. So this is our targets. We need to eradicate Naxalism by March 31st, 2026. So you have to remember whenever you are arguing anything. So next is propose air enclave in Kerala to boost postcard of presence. So recent time we are seeing that rising coastal accident incident. For example, recently a ship is sunken in the coast of Kerala. So in that case, we need to have a air conclave, airport where Coast Guard they can operate number of helicopter flight, so that they can take off fast and ensure the rescue operation. So this is what the news is all about. So here something you just need to know. So the Coast Guard Director General, describing the long pending proposal for an air enclave for maritime law enforcement agencies Thiruvananthapuram as work in progress. So this air enclave will help in promoting such rescue operation in the southern region. Just like this happened in case of recently, there is an accident on the coast of Kerala coast, MSC Ilsa, the ship that is sunken. So, dear student, you have to remember this port, the Vizinjam port. Vizinjam port recently established. You need to map the location at which this port is located. Okay, and detail about that. Yes, that is more than enough for your examination. No need to know more than that. ठीक है आगे बढ़ते हैं. And dear student, those who are preparing for mains 2026, so already time is very less, and after your prelims, mains duration is also very less, so you can utilize this time and start writing answer writing. And our fees are very nominal. It is, we are not charging 30,000, and after you paying 30,000 in the coaching institute, big coaching institute, you are not getting the quality evaluation, because most of the evaluator they are using, they are not even qualified the mains. So instead of that, you can get high quality evaluator from our interview appeared faculty or selected candidates. So you get quality evaluation. Either you can write 2 questions per day. It's a completely flexible. Either you can write daily basis, or you can write weekly basis, or you can write full length in a 14 days, or you can write question of our choice, or you can write question of your choice. So don't wait. Start writing and excel in the answer writing. So tribal leader bats for delisting member of ST who convert. So those who convert ST, those who convert to either Islam or Christianity, they should not be given the ST reservation. This is what argued by the tribal leaders. So the next is environmental ministry deny the Congress leader claim of Delhi Zoo privatization. So Union Environmental Ministry recently denied that there is a allegation of privatization of the Delhi Zoo. So, a knowledge sharing agreement was negotiated between the Delhi Zoo and Reliance Industry run Green Zoological Rescue and Rehabilitation Center, which operate Bantara facility of Jamnagar. So, you need to know that Bantara facility, it's a large animal, rehabilitation facility where, all animal are rehabilitated, they have been taken care of. Okay, so if I think any particular exam they ask in the bantara, about bantara, so you need to know about all these things. So nowadays UPSC and state PCS, they are asking little bit of dynamic questions. So Central Zoo Authority is the regulating body of the zoo in the country, routinely enter into such partnership with the MOU with the GZRRCC, originally signed in the January 2024. So dear student, it is a homework. Tell me, Central Zoo Authority is established under which act? Don't see internet. What you have, what is your first thinking? What is your first, knowledge of, after looking into that? What comes into mind? Please write in the answer box. Okay, comment box. So this MOU focus on the exchange of animals, captive building of animal keeper, technological exchange on scientific management of animals, and knowledge sharing on the conservation, breeding, education. So they are saying this, basically the agreement is signed for knowledge sharing. It is not about privatization नहीं है. ठीक है. So there is a opinion that zoos, national parks, tiger and other reserve sanctuaries are all public service, must not be privatized. Yes, I also believe the same thing, because they are property of public property. They should not be privatized, because we don't know the interest of private sector. They might misuse, abuse them. Okay. So there is a allegation by the Rahul Gandhi ji, that there is some foul play in the panchayat election. So you just read it out, you'll understand that so these all are allegations, because they think, because in a particular this year there is a sharp rise in the number of electoral registration. You can study here. The Rahul again alleged industrial scale rigging and assembly election. Election Commission said that despite detailed letter to the Congress, he keep raising the same unfounded doubts. It added that poll took place under the supervision of 1 lakh booth agent of the parties. So you can see here. So any deletion, any deletion, what happened actually? First, I just explain you first. So recent time in the election, there is a scene that sharp rising registration of the electoral roll in the Maharashtra. So because of that, this allegation come by the Rahul Gandhi. So any deletion and addition in the electoral roll was stringently as for the given framework under the Article 324. So you have to read about Article 324. It provide for establishment of election commission to ensure conduct of elections. ठीक है. So constitution provision, representation of people act 1950, and registration of electoral rule, as well as the extant instruction issued by the commission from time to time. So election commission is saying that we are following the procedure. So after finalization of the electoral roll during Maharashtra election, out of the electorate, only you can see it is around, yes, 977 lakh. That means 9.77 crore. So only 89 appeals were filed before the first appellate authority, that is the district magistrate. Okay, so you can see all these things. Not much important, but there is a allegation. You can quote in your examination. So we need to bring more transparency so that it is increasing the trust of the people. So that is more than enough. So next is USA and India fight against terrorism. Okay. So this is what said to our delegation. So recently, their multi-party delegation, they're visiting different part of the world to propagate the idea about India's policy of zero tolerance and how Pakistan used terror as an instrument to create instability across the you can say region. And it is quite successful because USA is also said that we are against fighting against the corruption, but you again know you cannot trust on USA. So they say something and do something, but ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, at least we are getting some support. So economic sanction against the Pakistan is third part of the Operation Sindoor. So what do I mean by that? So देखो, we have started Operation of Sindoor. So first is about military. Second is about diplomatic, like currently our multi-party diplomatic. Say third is about economics. So we have to give heavy punch to the Pakistan on the three levels. So that is what it is saying. This delegation traveled to the Organization of Islamic Country, has received a positive feedback. Even a question of this economic sanction, yeah, OIC had an objectionable. So initially, when India, Operation Sindoor, they get a objectionable comment against the India. But after our delegation, they understand our position and they give very favorable positions towards India. So dear student, it is your homework. You have to study about OIC. You have to study about OIC. How many country are member, name of that country, and whether India is member of that country or not, whether India ever participated or not. If not participated, why not participated? What are the problem with that? And you have to also study that largest country with Muslim population, second largest country with Muslim population, and India rank in terms of Muslim population. So if you know all these things, it is more than enough. Okay, for to clear that. And headquarter of OIC, just make a note of it. Again, I'm saying it is my promise. It's guarantee that you'll get 20 to 30 mark extra. I have done repeatedly in my all my attempt, and I have also always get 30 marks, 40 marks more than the cutoff. So please do that. Okay. So next is, he said that military hostility was first part of the Operation Sindoor. Second part was diplomatic outreach by the MP, and last part, which convey via the delegation, was to economic sanction against the Pakistan, as we discussed at the length. So that is what we need to ensure, that the Pakistan should pay the price for the terrorism. Okay. So they also raise about issue now, how Pakistan gives shelter to the dreaded terrorists like Osama bin Laden, and then USA attack the Pakistan soil. This is Pakistan. USA attack without permission of this Osama bin Laden and take them away. Same. India is also having this same right. If any terrorist from Pakistan soil, they are inflicting any kind of damage, then India has the right to strike them away. So this is what saying. India is also putting pressure to put Pakistan on the FATF, Financial Action Task Force, grey list. Once Pakistan is coming under the grey list, that means there is intense pressure on the Pakistans to remove all these terrorists, to take action against the terrorists and dismantle their infrastructure. So that is what something you cannot achieve through the military. Same thing can be happen through the economic sanction. When economy is hard hit, so in that case they don't have any other option but to act against the terrorists. So we have to ensure that Pakistan, isolated diplomatically, military, and everything. This should be isolated. So next is on Palestine issue. The OIC is always in support of OIC. OIC is always in support of Palestine issue, and they commented about the India's position. And Indian position is very consistent. Indian consistently support for two-state solution, and fact that India budget has provision for tens of millions of dollars for relief in the Gaza and West Bank. So we always believe that this entire region should be divided in two nations. So one is Israel and Palestine. There should be existed as a two-state solution. And recent time, India you can say welfare budget or help assistance budget is quite increasing, and we are providing help to the West Bank and Gaza. So it is your homework to map location of Gaza, West Bank, Israel, and tell me whether Israel having a connection, like Israel like which two seas connected to Israel. Israel is connected to two seas, and say another country is there which is also connected to both the seas, that is Mediterranean Sea and Red Sea. What is the name of another country? So just give this, comment, type the comment box. Let me see how many of you know that. So dear student, you can give our OPSC test series. So first five tests are open and free to all. You can simply join it. Okay. So next is government is the procurement norm for research lab. So research lab, they need lot of ingredient like machines and some chemicals to perform that. But government earlier norm, they says that whatever may be your procurement, you have to procure from government e-marketplace. So here there are a lot of vendor, they list their product, and from here only all research institution can procure the item. But problem is that the item they need, the quality, the material needed not available in the GM. So because of that, the researcher, they demand that they should have a freedom to procure anywhere from the world. So now ministry give this, you can say flexibility, so that they can procure from anywhere. So finance ministry allow the selected institutions to buy equipment from outside the government e-marketplace. Move comes amid complaint from the scientist over the substandard material affecting their research. Okay. So first significant change was allow affiliated scientists bypass the government e-marketplace. Commerce Ministry initiative meant to prioritize Make in India equipment. Existing norm required all the government purchase from laptop to furniture to be made cheaper vendor through the e-government e-portal. So all the government procurement, चाहे वो state government का हो, central government हो, they have to procure from the government e-marketplace. So you have to remember that, because mains में, in mains you can talk about this. This is an initiative, and within that GM, I think it is 3% of all the procurement should be from women. So we can give procurement to the MSME. Here there is a compulsory that all procurement, like some percentage of procurement should be from MSME, some percentage of procurement from the women, some procurement of from the SC ST category people, so that it is helpful for bringing welfare of the people. Okay. So just study a little bit about government e-marketplace, and what are the reservation that is provided to the each segment. For example, reservation for women, reservation for SC, reservation for ST, like that. Okay. So next is Bihar sex ratio dropped from 964 to 891 in 2 years. This is what said by sample registration system. So Bihar has recorded the lowest sex ratio, 891. So which is very alarming, and we need to take actions to arrest that. So if you look into sex ratio of different state, so you can find that Maharashtra is second having. Here is also given a good map. You can see here Bihar is having सबसे lowest, then Maharashtra, Telangana, Gujarat, and Jharkhand. But if you look into the state having highest sex ratio, you find that Arunachal Pradesh is highest. Okay, Ladakh, Meghalaya. So these are good in terms of having high sex ratio. ठीक है. So next is Bihar push of Ayushman Bharat health insurance coverage. So Bihar is now working to increasing coverage of the Ayushman Bharat health insurance coverage. So Bihar is now among the state leading the enrollment of card under the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So AB PM Joy with 3.94 Ayushman card created till now. So what is that? So brought So it is a central government run cashless health insurance scheme offering treatment for secondary and tertiary care. So PM Joy basically Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. PM Joy basically provide for secondary and tertiary, not the primary. Primary के लिए नहीं होता है. Primary के लिए हमने क्या बनाया है? Health and Wellness Center. Health and Wellness Center. So we'll establish 1.5 lakh health and wellness center. There you'll get the primary health care. Primary health care means if you have fever, let's say you have something like saline, you need saline. So all these things are available in the health and wellness center. For high operation, critical injury, you need to go to the secondary and tertiary healthcare. So there this insurance will be covered. So flagship health insurance scheme launched in 2018, offering cashless health in treatment up to 5 lakh per family per year. So it is providing 5 lakh per family per year. Okay, but currently the Bihar government use socio-economic caste census, but now they have decided shift to the National Food Security West Act, so that it will increase more coverage to the people. So state also register another government scheme, that is Bio Bandhana card. So Ayushman Bio Bandhana card. So that provide medical insurance to the those who are above 70 year of age. So Ayushman Bio Bandhana Yojana. Bio Bandhana means old age. Okay. So next, yes. So, dear student, our current free mentorship program is going on. So, if you are interested, you can simply scan this QR code and join our Telegram as well. That is given in the front page to get the benefit of this program. And dear student, if you want to get this infographics edition of this newspaper, simply scan this QR code. It will get you'll get this newspaper at the 8 a.m. in the morning in our applications. 8 to 9 a.m. Not exactly 8 a.m. So you can simply scan this QR code. So next is government must tackle the structural textile apparel sector issue. So government set a ambitious targets. Recently government set an ambitious target that export must grow 17% of compounded annual growth rate. Means each and every year, our growth rate should be 70% to achieve targets of 100 billion by 2030. So you need to remember that our target is to achieve 100 billions of export by 2030. Since return on investment is not viable, so industry body says that those who are investing in the textile sector, they are not getting viable return. So industry is ready, but industry is not ready to invest, expands project and build capacity. So government must address the structural challenges faced by textile industry and apparel industry to achieve 100 billion export by 2030. So this can, so in mains question, if there is a question, what are the let's say the textile industry is having the large potentials to create a lot of employment, but it faces a lot of challenges. So you can talk about that. You can talk about government is set a target of achieving 100 billions of export by 2030, but there are a lot of challenges like the structural problem and lack of investment. People are not getting the return. So rising labor cost, you have to discuss all these things. That is the reason we are studying it, so that you have fair amount of idea. When there is a question, you can at least write 5 to 6 points. So discuss the challenge faced by the textile and apparel exporter. They discuss the reason for nil growth in the textile and apparel sector for almost a decade. The export stagnated 37 billion and 42 billions of value. So volume of export has shrunken, which is matter of concern. Okay. So to achieve the 100 billions targets in 2030, we need to have 70% annual growth. And India's this the industry need to invest 100 billions to achieve the overall market size of 350 billions. So to have देखो हमारा targets क्या है 2030 में we need to have 350 billions of market size, and out of that 100 billion export होना चाहिए, because India itself is a big market, so we'll consume lot ना. So that are going to comprise 10% of the global export. So the return on investment is not viable, like people those who are investing in the textile, they are not getting proper return, so there is no incentive to invest. So the meeting discussed the structural issue including raw material prices, high labor costs that are major hurdle, apart from the cost of capital, power tariff, and relatively higher lead time to the deliver. So these are the few issues, you just note it down. So if any question related to textile, you can simply, you have the data statistics, you can write. That is what make the difference. If you add all these things, your answer will get 1 mark extra, 1 mark plus as compared to other. If you get that in 20 question, 20 marks more than other student. 20 into 4, so 80 marks as compared to other student, and 80 marks plus essay 20. So that means 100 marks extra. Either you in the top list or you will be totally rejected by the UPSC. So that is the reason small effort daily can make big difference. Okay. So government named the RBI DG Shankar as the 16th finance panel member. So dear student, you have to remember member of the 16th finance commission. So tell me in the comment who is the chairman of the 16th finance commission, and what are the terms of reference by the president of India. You have to study 16th finance commission and terms of reference by the president, so they can ask a good question in your prelims. So next is extreme poverty in India down to 5.3% in 2022-23, said by the World Bank. So India's extreme poverty rate slide to 5.3% over a decade from 27% in 11-12. This is what said by the World Bank. So World Bank raised its threshold for the poverty line is $3 for a day. So they can ask about the World Bank calculate the poverty on the basis of what. So it is $3 for day. Okay. So this is what you need to remember. Our extreme poverty is decline. So they can also ask a trend based question. Recent time, extreme is for the World Bank report. Extreme poverty level has been not increase, not decrease very fast. No, it is decreased very fast. And second statement, the poverty line is calculated by the World Bank on the basis of $1.9 per day. No, it is also wrong. It is $3 per day. So this kind of question can be made, so that but if you not give emphasis, so you can face problem. So recently we have seen there is a controversy about the gold loan by the RBI. So here RBI provide lot of clarity while ensuring transparency and accountability. So RBI gold loan directed to add consumer protection and transparency. So this step is taken because recent time we have seen rapid rise in the gold loan, and so there might chance of exploitation. So that is the reason this scheme is implemented by RBI. So the lending against the gold and silver collateral direction 2025 notified by the Reserve Bank of India to brought about clarity and standardization and greater consumer protection to gold and silver loan. So guideline on the valuation and assaying and loan to value ratio are timely and progressive. In particular, the provision allowing minimum loan to value ratio कितना होगा? Loan to value ratio मैंने already I think बताया था आपको. So it is 85% for लेस देन 2 लाख लोन. लेट्स से आपने आपने क्या किए, 2 लाख का गोल्ड डिपॉजिट कर दिए कोई बैंक में. लेट्स से 1 लाख का कोई गोल्ड आपने डिपॉजिट कर दिए, तो आपका लोन मैक्सिमम कितना मिल सकता है? 85,000 उससे मिल सकता है. दैट इज व्हाट कॉल्ड लोन टू वैल्यू रेशियो. सो इट विल सिग्निफिकेंटली बेनिफिट द स्मॉल टिकट बोरर. देखो बहुत सारे स्मॉल स्मॉल फार्मर होते हैं जिनके पास पैसा नहीं होती है. दे नीड सम वर्किंग कैपिटल ड्यूरिंग देयर एग्रीकल्चर फार्मिंग. So in that case, if you don't have that kind of facilities, in that case they will take loan at a high interest rate. That is the reason for their suicide or death of the farmers. So these guidelines aim to promote transparency, ethical practice and prudence discipline while enhancing financial access to the individual and micro enterprise. देखो जैसे होती है ना, अगर मान लीजिए कोई हमारे पास कोई रेगुलेशन नहीं है, एंड व्हेन पीपल आर इन द डिस्ट्रेस कंडीशन, इफ समवन ट्राई टू एक्सप्लॉइट देम, दे कैन इजीली एक्सप्लॉइट दैट. सो दैट इज द रीजन वी नीड टू हैव some sort of regulation so that we prevent the exploitation of our people. So highlighting the continuous continue eligibility of gold jewelry ornament and coin are so just read it out. I don't think much important, so this portion is important. So they can ask about what is the loan to value ratio. So in UPSC they can ask about what is loan to value ratio. So dear student, those who are attempting for 2026, you can simply practice the 2025 question, both the GS and CSAT already available in our application. Scan this QR code and have access to it. So next is scientists detect heaviest proton emitter in Asteroid 188. So international collaboration led to the detection and measure of half-life of heaviest proton emitter, 188 Asteroid isotope, which decay by emitting proton, while isotopes often undergo radioactive decay by emitting alpha, beta, gamma particles. Generally, जो isotopes होती हैं वो क्या emit करते हैं? अल्फा, बीटा, गामा, but it emit the neutrons. ठीक है? So they sorry not neutron, proton. So they rarely emit the protons. So just study about that. So they can ask something related to that. Not much, they can simply ask something, you can easily answer that. So new app help commuter to pick the greener route on the road. So there is a applications developed, its name is DRUM. So it find which route is less polluting, greener, so that it can prevent the you can say pollution related death. So if you look into ambient air pollution is responsible for 7.2% of death in major Indian cities. By providing an alternative route, so we can reduce the death among the people. So this is a good application. So next important thing is using bacteriophagos to combat antimicrobial resistance. So bacteriophagos क्या होता है? Bacteria means bacteria, phago means killing. So if just read it out, I'll just explain a lot of things available here. If one has unitary tract unitary tract infection, for instance, the patholab will find identify bacterium to say Escherichia coli, also determine the pathogen sensitivity over the dozen of antibiotics. If it is fine, then bacterium is sensitive to many and all drugs. Like देखो मान लीजिए आपको कोई इन्फेक्शन हो गया, तो आप डॉक्टर के पास जाओगे, डॉक्टर क्या करेंगे, पहले आपका चेक करेंगे कि क्या इन्फेक्शन हुआ है, देन देखेंगे कौन सा बैक्टीरिया से इन्फेक्शन हुआ है, देन वो बैक्टीरिया को देखेंगे कि बैक्टीरिया के पास रेजिस्टेंस है ही नहीं है, क्योंकि जो ड्रग्स होती है, फर्स्ट लाइन ड्रग्स होती है, सेकंड लाइन ड्रग्स होती है, थर्ड लाइन ड्रग्स होती है। अगर बैक्टीरिया सब मतलब 3 लेवल की ड्रग्स को रेजिस्टेंस है, देन इन दैट केस इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू ट्रीट। ठीक है, so this is happened because of bacteria's fast, because of misuse of antibiotics, bacteria are gaining resistance, and they are not able to cure by the normal antibiotics. So increasingly the antibiotic don't work because bacteria have developed resistance. It is estimated that globally about 5 million people are dying condition related to antimicrobial resistance each year. This may double by 2050. So whatever I'm putting in box, it is very important for prelims and mains. So note them out, or you can copy them and write somewhere. So pharmaceutical company have lost interest in developing new antibiotics, while on the one hand there is a rising cases of antibiotics, antimicrobial resistance, but pharmaceutical company, they are not investing. Why not investing? Because you whenever you have having any infection, you are taking hardly 1 or 2 antibiotics to cure. And second is, doctor are advising very few antibiotics. So because of that, the MNC or pharmaceutical company, they are not find it's profitable to invest in the antimicrobial antibiotics. Rather they found invest something where it is profitable. Okay, that is what it is written. So pharmaceutical company have lost interest in developing new antibiotics, whereas the drug for cancer is used for long time, and antibiotics are given just a few days. So that means not much markets. Second, also due to problem of antibiotic resistance, so new antibiotics are used sparingly as possible to prevent development of resistance. And second, doctor are recommending very few antibiotics. Therefore, there is no financial incentive for company to work on new antibiotics. So, private company, they simply work for the profit. When there is no profit, they'll not do anything. But in this condition, bacteria phages are good virus that naturally prey on the bacteria. So, bacteria phages क्या होती है? These are virus that act, that attack the bacteria and kill them. ठीक है, so they are all around us in the water, soil, and in our gut or skin. There are believed to be 10 times as many phages as bacteria on the earth. जितना बैक्टीरिया है उससे 10 टाइम्स हमारे पास फैगिस है, बैक्टीरिया फैगिस. So फैगिस आर बिगिनिंग, you know so that can be utilized, Phagis actually kill the bacteria, so that mechanism we can utilize to treat the antibiotic resistance. So phagis were beginning to be used as a bacterial infection about this century ago, but antibiotics supersede them once they were discovered. Unlike an antibiotics, phagi may only kill a few strain of particular bacterium. So therefore only country in this Soviet bloc cut off from the antibiotics continue to use them. ठीक है, सोवियत ओनली यूज कर रहा था. सो फागी हैज बीन यूज बॉर्न फूट अल्सर, गॉट इन्फेक्शन, रेस्पिरेटरी इन्फेक्शन, unitary tract infection. So there are two main strategy that have been used. One is to isolate the bacteria from the infected tissue. जैसे मान लीजिए आपको कहीं कट हो गया तो इन्फेक्टेड टिश्यू से बैक्टीरिया को बाहर करो, and check whether the phagy work against that in the lab, grow more phagy and administer to the patient. So first वो infected cell को लेके उस पे जो जो virus है उस पे act करके देखो कि whether the virus is able to kill that bacteria or not. If it is acting, then we can administer that drug to the people. So these phagy may come from phagy bank of one own, like on from your own body, or very serious case one may even ask phagy bank from somewhere else. Just like the blood bank, we can have to store all this virus in a particular place. Then there are genetically engineered phagy which have been modified in the labs. So genetically modify करके हम lab में रखेंगे, so that can be administered whenever needed. ठीक है. So these are actually medicines. So these are medicines. So whenever you make any medicine, it is required stringent regulation. So the world is desperate on the new treatment modalities of AMR. Thus no government in the western country approve the phagy as a drug. क्यों? क्योंकि ड्रग के लिए बहुत सारे रेगुलेशन चाहिए, टेस्टिंग चाहिए, बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम होती है. But they are saying we can circumvent that by create a device in which all the following step can be conducted: isolation bacteria from the infection, sequencing its genome, use of AI to determine which phagy genome most likely to work, create a phagy from the scratch in the device and administer it to the patient on the spot. So in that case, it became a, instead of drug, it became a device. So regulation for device is lesser. So such scenario, phagy don't be regulated as a drug, instead device to be regulated, and device regulation would only contain routinely used molecules such as nucleotides enzyme that could use to assemble the phagy. So regulation will be reduced so that we can use this as a medicine. So next, this is given, why some animal their eye are glowing in the night. So read it out, you'll understand. Okay. So in our eye there is two cells that is responsible for visual, whatever we are seeing in the dark night. We are able to see when, देखो, in human eye we are both having rod and cones. Rod are responsible for seeing in the dim light and cone are responsible for सीइंग इन दी ब्राइट आई. सो मैं आपको एक अच्छा चीजें बताता हूँ. आपने देखे होंगे पायरेट्स ऑफ कैरेबियन में क्या होता है, जो थेप होते थे एक आई को कवर करके रखते थे, एक खोला करके रखते थे. वाई दिस इज बिकॉज एक आंखें को हमेशा खोला करके रखते थे ताकि जब साफ लाइट में वो हमेशा एडजस्ट होके रहे, और एक को क्लोज करके रखते थे ताकि वो डार्क टाइम पे रेडी होके रहे. अभी आप देख लेना, आप अंधेरे में रह के ऑल ऑफ सडन जब चले जाते हो लाइट पे, आपको 5 मिनट लगता है एडजस्टमेंट करने में. तो उससे वो अवॉइड करने के लिए वो क्या करते थे, एक को खोला रखते थे ताकि वो हमेशा वो देखते थे, लाइट को देखते थे. एक को बंद करके रखते थे ताकि उस समय डार्क टाइम पे तुरंत उनको दिख जाएगा. यही था उसका लॉजिक. सो जस्ट रीड इट आउट, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स. ओके. So this is a proud moment for us. Indian giant leaf in cosmic leaf. So our astronaut's name, uh, here it is given detail. So just I'm just reading it out. So group captain Shubhanshu Shukla, going to travel International Space Station, and under which mission? Axiom mission 4. So the Axiom space mission. So under which rocket satellite, what is the name of that rocket? So it is SpaceX Falcon 9. SpaceX Falcon 9. Okay. So then you have to study, just read what are the things that they are going to achieve. And you need to payload that ISRO is want to send the payload that they want to test in the International Space Station, so that we can understand better idea about the space station. So space station generally operate, at a height of 4,000 kilometer above the earth, and they are, no gravity is there. So whenever human go there, they start floating. So drinking water is quite difficult there, because the moment you just here, जैसे आप यहाँ से डालते हो तो आपको पानी आ जाता है, but in space it will float in the air. So it is quite difficult and challenging to design thing in the space. So what is the COVID-19 situation in India? So recent time we are seeing that COVID-19 cases are increasing very rapidly. But if you ask the expert about this, what is the problem? So they are saying, gradually the COVID-19 will settle as a, instead of pandemic, it will become a epidemic. It will be settled just like the common flu. So because already we are having multiple wave and people also given vaccine. So because of that, we are developing this innate, or you can say immunity to this virus. So though the virus is going to be there, but the symptoms are very mild, not much strong. But those who have not taken vaccine or not infected, so this might be severe for them. Okay. So but still, we need to be very careful. We know that virus, like a lot of people are having immunity, still we need to maintain personal hygiene. We need to maintain, COVID protocol, so that we should not let it to be travel among the different people. देखो virus जब एक person से दूसरी person travel करता है chain reaction से, so there is high chances of mutation, so which might later on emerge as a very dangerous for the people. ठीक है. Okay, so next we'll see about our CDS. There are a lot of news is there. So I'm just going to give you the analysis part. So the CDS is created in 2019. Okay, Chief of Defense Staff. So he'll act as a head of the military affairs. So there is a Department of Military Affairs. So he'll head the Department of DMA, Department of Military Affairs, to deals with areas such as armed forces integration, headquarter, defense ministry, jointness, procurement, training, and staffing for the service, and restructuring of military command for optimal utilization of resource through the establishment of joint theater command. देखो जैसे मैं आपको बताता हूँ अभी क्या हो रहा है हमारा डिफेंस फोर्सेस, जैसे मैं आपको सिंपल बता देता हूँ. अपाची हेलीकॉप्टर अटैक हेलीकॉप्टर जो हमें चाहिए था, एयरफोर्स भी यूज कर रहा है उसको, हमारा आर्मी भी यूज कर रहा है, क्योंकि आर्मी आर्मी बोले कि हमें भी चाहिए, एयरफोर्स बोल रहे हैं हमें भी चाहिए. तो इन दैट केस इट्स ए डुप्लीकेशन ऑफ ब्रिंगिंग ऑल दिस थिंग्स. बट जस्ट इमेजिन हमारे पास एक ऐसे फोर्स है जिसमें ग्राउंड ग्राउंड में आर्मी जा रहे हैं, और उनको सपोर्ट के लिए एयरफोर्स जा रहा है, एंड एवरीथिंग अंडर ए सिंगल पर्सन कमांड. So it is quite easy to operate. But on the other hand, just imagine here your army is going to fight, and one person is heading the army, another person is heading the air force, they are also providing support. There will be lot of coordination. This head of this army will have to contact the air force. Later on they will drop the bomb or shielding, missile shielding. So in that case it will be like a lot of delay, and there will be you can say wastage of resources also, because we have to procure a lot of duplication of resources. Same thing also happen. Let's say we have three cantonment area in a particular area. So now let's say we are supplying logistic, we have to separately supply the logistic. It is for air force, it is for navy, it's for army. Which is, instead of that, whenever you are having a CDS, no need to do that. You can simply send them under the military logistics के नाम पे. So because of that, it will improve the economy of scale, reduce the redundancy, and reduce the cost. So joint theater command and promote use of indigenous defense equipment. CDS is also permanent chairman of the chief of staff. So जब जब मीटिंग होगा एयरफोर्स, आर्मी एंड नेवी का, तो उनका चेयरमैन कौन होते हैं? ये होते हैं हमारा सीडीएस उनका चेयरमैन होते हैं. ठीक है. So he is also acting as a principal military advisor to the defense ministry on the tri service matter, while post is above the 3-star ship. So he is not exercise any military command. So उनके अंडर में ये चीजें ऑलरेडी यूपीएससी 2024 में पूछा है. ही इज नॉट एक्सरसाइज एनी मिलिट्री कमांड. सो सीडीएस के अंदर कोई मिलिट्री कमांड नहीं होता है. सो एंड दी ही इज द 4-स्टार जनरल. जो सीडीएस होते हैं वो हमारा क्या होता है? 4-स्टार जनरल होते हैं. ठीक है. सो आई थिंक वट एवर आई रिटन जस्ट बॉक्स, जस्ट रीड इट आउट, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स. ठीक है. जस्ट प्लीज रीड how our operation is going on, Operation Sindoor, everything is given in a detail. So just read it out, you'll understand a lot of things. Dear student, you can join our Dronacharya year-long mentorship program. Here you'll get quality guidance at very nominal fees, and we'll guide, like we have a lot of experience in UPSC, so we'll guide you. Okay. So next is Taliban propose amnesty to the Afghan who are fled country, urge them to return. So Taliban saying that those who are fled to the other country, they can return. There will be no retaliation against them. The offer come days after US President Donald Trump announced a sweeping travel ban on the 12 country including Afghanistan. So Afghanistan is neighboring Pakistan, is also dealing with deputation drive by the Islamabad government, so to help their people. So this initiative is started by the Taliban. So next is recently the Muhammad Yunus declared that the election is going to held after after December. After December, but that is what slammed by the Bangladesh National Party. They want elections to be held as early as possible. So BNP says that people are disappointed by the move and instead call for election by the year end. So recently there is a severe protest against the Sheikh Hasina government, and then Sheikh Hasina government has to leave the country because of protest, and there is a severe threat to his life, threat to her life. And Sheikh Hasina takes you can say asylum in India. Later on the government is formed by Muhammad Yunus. So after that they have taken so many drastic steps. So that is against the interest of India, and Bangladesh is very closely neighbor of India. So any instability is there, so that is going to spill over to the India, because people will immediately migrate, and there will be increase in the crisis in the northeast. So that is the reason all the development is very important for us. So it is an important development as well. So Carney defend plan to invite Modi ji to G7. Say India is the fifth largest economy. So recently the Canadian Prime Minister decided to invite Modi ji. So that led to the some opposition in their home country. Why we have invited the Indian Prime Minister, despite there is a strain in the relationship. So this is what justified by the Canadian Prime Minister a day after inviting Prime Minister of Modi ji to the G7 meeting. So Prime Minister of Canada in his they say that India is the fifth largest market in the world, and therefore had to be included in this summit, which will not participation of the world a leading economy. So he highlighted that Indian global structure is economy and commercial sphere, said that India is among the leading mainstream global power, and added that chair of the G7, it is important to invite most important country to attend the talk about important issues such as energy, artificial intelligence, then critical minerals, and India is really very center of global supply chain. So this is what a clear recognition that emerging power of India. Okay. So despite having our strained relation, it is forced the Canadian Prime Ministers to invite India. So Mr. Modi thanks the Canadian counterpart for invitations to G7. So as a vibrant democracy bound by the deep people-to-people ties, India and Canada will work together with renewed vigor, gained by the mutual respect and shared interest. So this comment of the Canadian Prime Minister come after, there are some media report which criticize the Modi ji or Indian government about, raise about the ongoing investigation about the killing of pro Khalistan activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar on June, that blamed the previous Canadian government headed by Justin Trudeau on the India, that India is playing, Indian, you can say, intelligence agencies are responsible for this death. There is a large legal, there is a large legal procedure that literally underway. So this is what said that, Canada is having a legal procedure that is under going on, and in case, anyone found guilty, action will be taken. So next, the so it is a very sad news. Just read it out. So you can say our, Gukesh not able to win. So Carlsen again, became the world leader, or you can say the win that match. So next, dear student, you can scan this QR code, join our Sunday podcast. You can talk to me. The next article, from us is their rise. So it is talking about how, despite facing the border area problem by this, those who are residing in the Pakistan and India border. So the selling damaged critical infrastructure, including home, school, displacing hundreds of residents. So Kashmir administration responded by establishing makeshift camp in the buffer zone, providing emergency shelter, and there are a lot of bunkers there. But in border area, people are scattered, so it is very difficult for them to travel this bunker. So that is the reason they are demanding bunker near to their home, and government is promising that will construct more bunker, and it is our responsibility, those who are affected by this, this Pakistani selling, we need to rehabilitate them, we need to ensure that they should be restored normalcy and start their life. So, dear student, this is all about today, that is 8th June, the Hindu newspaper analysis. Dear student, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with your friend. And if you have any suggestion, if you want to, change any method whatsoever, maybe simply drop comment in the comment box, or you can write to me. So, according to your suggestion, I will try to improve and make this content more interesting. Okay, dear students, chaliye, bye bye, take care. So again, we'll meet tomorrow for discussion of the 9th June. Chali, bye bye.